Hi, friends. Hopefully, everyone's doing well, staying safe. I have the pleasure of being here with Vanessa Silva. She is the owner of Be in Wonder, and we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics. I think this is one of my favorite topics that not many people know I'm crazy about, and that is organization. How are you, Vanessa?
I'm good, Chaunyce. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Can you inform everyone what do you do?
Yeah, so I did not know that organization speaks to your heart. So that's exciting. What I do is actually Be in Wonder has two aspects to it. The first part and the main part is interior design for children. So I plan, design, create, install playrooms that are educational based for children to learn and play and grow. And the second part of my business is I create sensory bins that are all literacy and math based for children 3 to 6 years old for them to engage in learning through play.
Okay, sensory bins. Can you expand on that? What is a
Sure.
sensory bin?
So a sensory bin is literally a bin that I curate depending on the theme that it is. So I have different themes available. For example, one is ocean, one is construction. Each bin comes with a fill. So the fill could be anything between beans, colored rice, so on and so forth. And then whatever the theme is. So for example, the ocean one would have fish and ocean creatures. The construction one would have construction vehicles and pylons. There's scoops or tongs for children to scoop the filler. I include words that go along with whatever the theme is, as well as numbers to encourage math and literacy learning. Each bin comes with a book that goes along with the theme, and I include a card to encourage parents to engage in learning through play with their child.
So this seems like a lot more than just organization. Can we talk about your background?
Yes. So my background really is in early learning and development. Maybe 15 years ago now, I started off with taking my early childhood education. From there, I took a program to work with children with special needs, and I was working with the school board as an educational facilitator, working with children with special needs within the classrooms. And then I decided that I probably wanted to be a teacher. I was always told that I would be a great teacher. So I went back to university, studied early childhood education again, and then I went to York University for my teacher's degree. And since then, it's been 8 years now, I believe, that I've been teaching kindergarten. My specialty is early learning and development. So I've been teaching kindergarten full time now for 8 years, and I love it.
Congratulations. They must
Thank you.
love you.
I hope so.
No, of course. That's like a kid's dream. So this business came along a lot because of your passion for it.
100%. So when I had my own children, my older son is 5 turning 6. I had curated a space for him as an infant in our house. It was one of our extra bedrooms, but it was a space that truly reflected his developmental needs as well as things that he was interested in. And in my personal Instagram account, I would, post pictures of what he was doing or things that he did that day or activities that I had set up. And I had friends saying, can you help me do this in my house? And can you help me teach me how to set this up? And I was like, it's so easy. I didn't realize that I had, I guess, like a talent that I hadn't tapped into. I've always been very intrigued by interior design. It's always been a passion of mine, and I decided to just merge my two passions together. So early learning and development with interior design. And that's how Be in Wonder Design really came about.
Okay, you make it sound very simple. It just, got thrown together. I had the pleasure of seeing some of your work, and it's one of those projects that you personally look at as an adult and you're like, I want to hand paint and I want to swing and do rock climbing. And
Yeah.
can you tell me about some of your creations? Like, what kind of things do you do? Do you install? Do you curate? And
So
why?
depending on the package that my clients purchase, um, there's a few different packages, but the main one that people usually go with, other than being in COVID right now, is the designing, planning, and installation of the playrooms. So my husband is part of my team. He helps me install the playrooms, and really the designs are based on the families and the child's needs and wants. So I have a client intake form that clients fill out, and there's extensive questions for me to understand what they're looking for, what their needs are, what their child is interested in, and I base my decisions on that, as well as the family's budget. So I work within the budget in order to meet the child's needs. That being said, I truly feel like the space needs to be a reflection of the child. They need to be honored and feel valued, and I take all those things into consideration. Most of the times when I step into a client space, the one thing is like they have a ton of ideas, but they don't know where to start. So I help them kind of organize their ideas and make a place for everything.
Well, thank you. It comes together so artistically. It's a very good degree of artistic functionality and aesthetic design to it. It's really quite amazing and creative.
You know?
You're welcome. Can you tell me, as a kid, was there something that you always dreamt to be?
Oh my gosh, I always thought I was going to be a veterinarian. I'm not going to lie. I love animals. And then I realized that I wasn't good in science. Not that I wasn't good in it, but I stepped into grade 10 biology and there was like frogs on the table and we were dissecting them that day, and I walked out and I was like, that's it, my career is out the window. But I've always been very artistic. My mom is artistic, and we would spend weekends at White Rose, and I remember just standing in the aisles looking at all the markers and the crayons, and I would color and paint for days. Even as an adult, I still paint. So I've always been artistic, and I've always tried to tap into that somehow. I love being creative, and I just love creating spaces for children to feel inspired.
I love it. So I definitely want to take this opportunity to kind of pick your brain and inquire. While half the world is currently at home, and we all have enough time to now look around and be like, the functionality of this house isn't too functional. Is
Yeah.
there any small tips, tricks that you can say, okay, this might be a very easy thing to do to change a little bit of your space more than you could imagine?
For sure. So the number one thing that I see when I step into a client's space is the amount of things that they have. Having children means you have a lot of stuff, especially if you have multiple children of different age groups. It
Yeah.
accumulates fast. Even if you're not the one that's purchasing it, family members are purchasing it, friends are purchasing it. So you just accumulate a lot of stuff. I think it's really important to take this time to kind of declutter and simplify your space a little bit. I was working with a client a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I just don't know where to start. I don't know how to declutter. So I suggested to, get the children involved, because at the end of the day, it is their stuff. However, they don't always want to give things up. I have this issue with my oldest son. He's very attached to all of his possessions. So I suggested, put it in a box and put the box in a different room. If it's something that they haven't used for a little bit, you've noticed that they've kind of lost interest, put it in the box and put the box in a different room. If within 2 to 4 weeks they haven't asked for it, they haven't looked for it, they haven't, inquired about it, then that means that they have moved on for that item, and it can be donated to somebody else who will put it to good use.
That is an amazing answer. My next question, leading from that answer, is do you do anything for adults?
Like design wise?
I think like decluttering, organization, there are a lot of us that we just hold on to things and now
I know. It's hard. I mean, I find the same thing even with my own closet. I specialize in children's spaces, but even in my own closet, I saw this tip once and they said turn the hanger opposite to all the other ones. If within a month you haven't taken the item off that hanger, then you know that you haven't worn it. And it's kind of the same deal with putting the toy in the box, just a little bit different.
We all know we haven't worn it. We're just still trying to lose the weight to fit back into
It's
that
the
item.
what if, that one day, you never know.
Yeah, unfortunately.
People tend to think that it's a lot of hands-on, but I've been focusing mostly on e-designs right now, which has been helping a lot of people through the homeschooling aspect. As parents, we've all been thrown into this like whirlwind of having to keep up with the house, teaching your kids, working from home. It's just a lot to keep up with. And I found myself, even within the first couple of weeks, we had, things on the bedroom floor, things on the main floor, things in the basement, and there was just stuff everywhere. So we started dedicating just one learning space. And I've been able to help families through creating a learning space for their child during these times because, we don't know how long it's going to last. We're praying that it's over sooner than later, but it's really important for a child to have a space that is organized and functions for their needs while they're learning at home. And I've been able to do that through my e-designs.
That's amazing. And I know you said that you're a children's designer, even though I think the whole world needs you. But I think that's also really important for everyone. One, for the child to have their own space, but then that aids in helping the whole house flow as a family unit. So
100%. And it doesn't need to be a full room. I have people who I've worked with and they say to me, I don't have a playroom. You don't need a playroom. It could be a corner in your kitchen. It could be a corner in their bedroom. It could be a corner in the living room. It just needs to be a space where they feel valued, represented, honored. The more that you honor your child and their learning and their interests, the more intrinsically motivated they'll be to reach their goals and to step outside of their comfort zone and to try and to, meet all of the developmental milestones that are important to children and to parents and to families as a whole.
absolutely. Well, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for sharing in my favorite topic. If you guys are looking for Vanessa, here's all her contact information. Please feel free to reach out. I know that you are staying well, but staying busy with the million things you got going on right now. But you are still
Yes.
running COVID virtually, correct?
Yes, yes. So my e-designs consist of a mood board, playroom layout, and the suggested product list where families can shop online. Everything is done through online shopping, contactless delivery through whatever sources that I have reached out to and created for the family.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you.
My pleasure. I know that you got so much value from this. So, as always like, comment, but beyond all else, share her interview. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good day. Bye.